Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, today's update on the vaccination, healthcare issue, and otherwise, I put Blockbuster up because it's probably just filled with some blockbuster things, so let's get right to it. First, on my way here, and I'm doing this at 9:06, on the way here, I just learned that Children's Hospital apparently has sent out an email saying that you can get a temporary exemption if you're pregnant. House of cards is starting to fall. That is awesome for all you pregnant. That's just the beginning, because obviously that's not enough. But now, if Children's is doing that, how does not all the other tri-state hospitals follow suit and allow a temporary exemption for if you're pregnant? By the way, that's good news, because that is an avalanche of facts that's going to hit them. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, you're going to hear employment lawyers say you got employment at will. That's true. You're going to hear, generally, you're going to hear all these people that say, oh, you can't win this, but it's why there's no other law firm jumping into this. I am one of the most creative legal strategists you're ever going to want to meet. And I want you to know that, and I did a video from my truck last night, I have hit upon some causes of action, which I will guarantee you the defense lawyers never advised these hospitals about when they were considering their course of conduct. And I'm not going to reveal it, but I am going to say this. Based upon the information that all of you keep sending me, thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep getting brave. I know there's some of you out there that are watching this that haven't sent me an email yet. We have evidence of not just a civil, but a criminal conspiracy amongst the tri-state hospital. Criminal conspiracy. Now, when we file these lawsuits next week, and we're going to be filing about 50. Now, you might say, well, how do you get that done? Trust me. We filed like 200 or 300 Durrani lawsuits in a couple weeks. We know how to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, we are going to rock these hospitals like they've never been rocked before. And remember, I told you how stupid these defense firms are, that I now have in my possession 2 banker boxes full of emails organized by hospital. And this morning, a St. Elizabeth current nurse is going through those emails to outline what is contained in those and put in all the information that they have. I mean, and we're doing that for every one of them. I called somebody who has office space nearby us and said, how much office space you got? And they told me, so I'm taking it all. I'm not, trust me, folks, I'm shooting straight with you. It's going to be epic. What else? This is amazing. A private investigator contacted me and they said, hey, what do you want to know about Colvin? I said, anything you got. And he says, well, I'll be sending you what I got. I'm like, holy cow. Obviously, somebody was pissed off at Garen Colvin along the lines, so I don't know what that's about. I also want everybody to know that Colvin lives, and by the way, I want to stress this. This is for protesting purposes on the sidewalk outside Colvin's house. Colvin lives at 919 Squire Oaks Drive, Villa Hills. Those of you that work at St. E's, you got to tell me what's the best time, date, and place. I'll be there. I'll bring our camera crew. But we need to have a protest and let them feel the heat. These corporate types hate more than anything else when the heat comes to them. When the heat comes to them. What else? This is very interesting. I mean, really weird. I got information that, this is just really, really weird. I got information. I want to stress this to you. I got another rumor. This is awesome. You know, Christ Hospital in St. E's has been fighting it out on this side of the river. Christ Hospital, it's my understanding, has a plan that if they follow through and discharge employees, they are putting together a special package for all the St. E's employees. You see how these hospitals, you watch, they're going to stay united for just a very, very brief period of time until, boom, they start fighting each other. All right, here we go. Let me see. We are going to be sending out demand letters by the end of tomorrow to every hospital. Every hospital. By the way, our list of hospitals and organizations is up to way over 50. And we're going to be sending demand letters, Deters law is, demand letters to all those hospitals basically saying, rescind your mandate as a settlement, or these letters are what's going to unleash hell. If you're fired, Deters law has agreed to represent you against your employer. And we have a theory of liability that if you're fired, we can sue them. So just want to let you know that. If you're fired, we will help you with unemployment. And by the way, those of you that have gotten the fee agreement, it's nice and simple. Just so you know, if you haven't gotten the fee agreement and you want to request it, again at eric@ericdeters.com, put my email at the bottom here, Sabrina. I want you to know that it doesn't cost you a nickel. Doesn't cost you a nickel. And if all we do is get the mandate dropped, that's a success. You don't owe us a nickel. I mean, you don't owe us a nickel, period. There's no risk to you. If you get the vax and there are issues, and you know somebody who got the vax and there's issues, let us know. We want to sue. Exemptions. The lawyers want me to pass along to you that exemptions. Go ahead and file for any medical, religious exemption. Go ahead, write in there what you want to write in there in addition to their form. You don't need to wait for that. Go ahead and file it. Because the game plan is as soon as that lawsuit's filed, there's going to be requests for injunctive relief. And until that's ruled upon, it's going to postpone these injection deadlines. So folks, when they say you got to be injected by September 1st or whatever, or by October 1st, we're going to put a stop to that. I'm going to throw in the mask issue here. If you are upset about these mask issues, if you can, try to get a doctor that gives your child a medical exemption. If your primary care physician has any love for you in a doctor-patient relationship, or your pediatric doctor, they ought to give you a exemption for your child to wear that mask. By the way, to bring you up to date, there has already been an order put on in Boone County, and it's in the Kentucky Supreme Court, I think, where on this whole mask issue, and that Bashir is probably in contempt of court with his executive order. So just to let you know, that mask issue is already hot to track in the court system. By the way, St. E's cracks me up on their stem cells. Pretty hilarious. Now, let me go through some more stuff here. Schneller, Crumpleman, who's on the board of trustees of St. E's, owns Schneller Heating and Air Conditioning. Let's freaking do something relative to Schneller. It's right down there. He built the Kenton County Executive Building right next to his corporate headquarters. You St. E's folks, let's organize, and I'll help you promote it, a protest outside of Chris Knuckleman, board member. We also ought to do a protest outside Herzog's. I told about the crime. Oh, if you don't think that these hospitals do bad things, I've already told you about what they let happen with Durrani. We have 2 class actions, Deters Law does, against, when I say we, I'm a member of the team. St. Elizabeth Medical Center, one has already been certified as a class by Judge Late. When you go to St. E's at your primary care physician. Let's say you go there because you got a sinus infection. And you said, hey, while I'm here, can you look at my ankle? They bill you for 2 office visits. 2 office visits. We also have a class action against St. E's in the discovery stage where a doctor working at St. E's faxes me 4 faxes a couple years ago. And in those faxes, they say, Bulldog, you need to know that St. Elizabeth Medical Center and DaVita and the urology group are putting people on kidney dialysis before they're supposed to for money. It's about $12,000 a pop for dialysis. And these people are not in end-stage renal failure or even their creatine levels aren't where they've been. Boom. That is some of the evil stuff St. E's has done. By the way, unrelated to the vax, if you know anything about any of these hospitals and you're pissed off enough to send it to me, that's not why we're doing this. But if you got something you want to send to me, we welcome it. That's not for, that's for me. Well, I got to fix my things. Now, let me go through my show and tells. I got an email, which it seems to me that this is legitimate. If this is not legitimate, then somebody will correct me. But somebody sent me an official document. Remember, these nonprofit hospitals do have to do tax returns. St. Elizabeth Medical Center. By the way, for all you that work at St. E's and they mess with your, your paid, when you're COVID, I forget what it's called, PTO, whatever it is. St. E's has in Central American and Caribbean banks $184 million. Ooh, they offer vaccination bonus drawings for 1,000. Ooh. By the way, if there's one thing consistent about how all these hospitals treat all you guys, they treat you like little kids. It's a joke. And I did get the official document. This is the official document. By the way, Mr. Colvin, Garen, you are so stupid that I have right now, the information coming to me is off the charts against your hospital. I got confirmation what that lady said, total of 27 patients, and most of them are vaxxed, is absolutely true. Actually, it wasn't a lady, it was a man. What else? How crazy is it these religious hospitals are forcing you to take, I mean, this is a big disagreement. And I personally, if I needed a stem cell, I'd take the stem cell. But these Catholic hospitals are letting abortus, fetus, and stem cells tissues be used. That goes in that pile. A Dr. Janice Lindsay, Managing Director of Toxicology and Molecular Biology, explains also, just like Dr. Stock, how the vaccination is causing the COVID spread. And by the way, I got this, a buddy of mine sent me a chart. Do you know the group of people that are resisting the jab, expression, comedy, the most? People with a PhD. The elites. What else? That's masking. Don't need to talk about that. Talked about that. St. E's completed a $3 million investment to move to a 15-hour minimum wage. Boy, they announced that August 11th. By the way, here is their mission statement. Our healthcare ministry, we provide comprehensive and compassionate care that improves the health of the people we serve. Bullshit. 8/12/21. Tonight at Florence, there are 18 COVID patients. Out of those 18, 7 of them have been fully vaxxed. Mercy Hospital is saying N95 masks are no longer needed. Oh, guess what? What St. E's is doing, if you're a retired nurse at St. E's, don't buy their bullshit. like you did during COVID. I heard this out of St. E's, that the HR were scrambling to contact every retired nurse from St. E's and attempt to convince them to come out of retirement to work against St. E's. Word is they were in panic mode after the protest on Tuesday evening. If you're friends with a retired nurse, tell them to stay on the sidelines. Bethesda North, yesterday, 5 positive people in ICU, 4 had been vaccinated. Again, the stupidity of requiring all employees to be vaxxed when there's only 5 positive in Bethesda. A doctor at St. E's told a patient, physicians who work St. E's are being told they cannot sign medical exemptions for this vaccine since St. E's supports it. Hey, doctors, I know how wimpy you are. If you, and by the way, I want you all to give me the names. If you are a doctor who refuses a medical exemption that should be given, you're getting sued. My daughter caught COVID, didn't have to quarantine. This was in May. St. E's policy, I was to show up my shift, but I needed to self-monitor. COVID was in my household, and they still wanted me there to potentially spread it to other workers. That goes on this page. You ready for this drum roll? Medicare and Medicaid, controlled by the governor, Beshear, DeWine, Biden, have told these hospitals, you all get fully vaxxed or we're not going to reimburse you. I tell you right now, folks, I'm telling you, you know what? It's a shame that the Justice Department, the United States Attorney's Office, is so liberal now because we got Joe Biden. But I've got enough information that I'm hoping, I know Joe Deters would never do it, but I'm hoping that the Boone, Kenton, and Campbell County Commonwealth attorneys take a look at what I send them. I mean, I'm going to be sending them some incredible stuff. Vax buck, St. E's call it. Woo, fax buck. Ready for this? They are doc physicians subcontracted to St. E's. St. E's is forcing them to get vaccinated in order to keep their jobs. If you're a doctor that was forced to get a vax and you didn't want to get a vax and you want to take some legal course action, shoot me an email and I'll pass it along to the lawyers. By the way, just so you know, the current owner of Deters Law and I talk every day, all the time, and everything I'm doing here that references Deters Law is being done, and across the board is being done. I'm conveying information that I have been told to convey to you. So there you have it, folks. Boom! This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Keep it up. We're going to win.